Salam alaikum, bonjour. Welcome to this new episode. I found that focus, concentration, is really the key element into success at work, at school, in any sports, or in any endeavor. I tell you why. If I'm focused, I can handle distractions. There are no more distractions as I'm focused on what I need to do. Sometimes our thoughts are a way to discern what is a priority might be difficult to handle. So I ask directly my subconscious to sort things out in my head, so I automatically do what needs to do on the right time. Some would say, this is a good way to kill procrastination. I would say, is I work hand in hand with my subconscious to know what to do at the right time. So, are you ready for this new self-hypnosis to make you even better at concentration? Let's go. For this self-hypnosis, I suggest that you get sitting upright rather than reclining or lying down. So, if you are comfortably seated, the first thing I would like you to do before you continue to relax and enter into a trance is to place the very tips of your fingers very lightly on your thighs, with your arms in the air, elbows away from your sides, as if your arms and hands were just floating there, fingers just barely touching the cloth. So you can just feel the texture. That's right. Fingers just barely touching, and focus your full attention on those sensations and the very tips of those fingers, where they just barely touch, where that floating continues. Because as I talk to you and you continue to relax and to pay close attention to those sensations, would you pick a spot there, anywhere at all, on that wall there, and begin to stare at that spot there while I talk to you, really aware of that spot there and of how an interesting thing is beginning to happen to one of your arms floating there just above your legs, while you try to concentrate on looking at that spot. Because everyone knows how easy it is to learn something when you're comfortable. And sooner or later, everyone has the experience of learning something new when they're relaxed. So go ahead and allow that comfortable feeling to continue, with the recognition that after a while you also can notice that your eyes naturally begin to get tired of staring at that spot and it becomes difficult to keep holding them there, or even to keep them open. And it really would be much easier, more comfortable to close them. And you may do that as staring at that blurry spot seems to be too much effort to bother making anymore. But as you let them very slowly begin to close now, you can also notice as they slowly close, a light floating feeling in one hand or the other or both. So that as eyelids feel heavy and you continue to let them go down, an arm floats up a bit and then a bit more, floating away from your leg. Because as it feels lighter, the eyes may seem to feel heavier. But as your heavy eyes continue to close, your light floating arm moves upward a bit more as it feels even lighter than before. And you can feel it lifts upward, drifts upward, almost by itself at times, more and more as you continue bit by bit to close those heavy eyes, and your light lifting arm floating up as you drift down with your eyes, arm lifting upward at times, and then back down perhaps, and then back upwards again. An automatic movement upward as your unconscious mind lifts that hand, that arm upward, one small step at a time, upward, and then a bit more, like being pulled upward with a soft string. It may be difficult to tell exactly how much that arm and hand have drifted up, to tell exactly what position they are in. And it may be difficult to tell when that slow, effortless movement occurs more and more rapidly as it drifts up lighter and lighter, higher and higher. That's right. That's right. And that arm and hand could continue to drift higher and get lighter and lighter. But after a while, you may begin to notice now that as you allow your eyes to close comfortably now and your mind to relax, that relaxed heaviness spreads and that arm begins to feel heavier too as it begins to move back down. And as you pay close attention to it, you may begin to notice how it feels now, how tired and heavy it is, as your unconscious mind reminds your mind to pay more and more attention to how good it feels to go back down And that arm moves down now as that heaviness increases, because it would be so comfortable just to allow that heavy arm to drift all the way down now, as you drift down into a comfortable relaxation. Eyes closed, arms relaxed. That's right. And drifting down with it, down into a deep, deep trance, as your arm relaxes and the mind relaxes as well. And you drift deeper and deeper as I continue to talk. Eyes closed now, and your arms and hands feel so comfortable. Your entire body comfortable, comfortable and relaxed. That's right. So we won't put it off any longer. This movement into a deeper trance where you can relax completely, and I can explain to your unconscious mind a story I heard from a friend who had a friend whose son was in school at a distant university. He was failing his courses because he would not go to class, and he would not do his homework, although he said he wanted to. So he went to see a counselor who told him to drop out of school and to raise dogs or lions, because they would growl and attack if he didn't take care of his business. This put him off at first, made him angry. So angry, he went to class instead, did all his homework, got all as to prove what an idiot that guy was. And each time he found it hard to do what he needed to do. He thought about raising puppies and all he would have to go through with their little piles here and there, little messes there, as they just did what they wanted to do, whenever and wherever they wanted. Although he did know from experience that even a tiny puppy can eventually be trained to behave itself, to control itself, even if it is hard to do. What it really doesn't want to do, to wait and do it, in the right place at the right time, because who would want to live with it if it never did learn to behave itself and to stop acting like a spoiled, soiling pup? And so even the most rebellious pup has a willingness to take care of itself and to just do what needs to be done, for no other reason than its own comfort, its own security, and its own sense of self-worth. And I have often wondered what happened to him, because I know he did not quit school and he did not raise dogs. So I guess he learned his lessons well and took good care of himself from then on. as the relaxation in all the body has transformed, accomplished its mission. Now is the time to feel ready to do, ready to perform, ready to focus. You are now in the best way possible, in the best shape possible, ready for the future you. So, take a deep breath and move your toes, your fingers, your shoulders. Start feeling again where you are seated. Come back to this point. 5. You are feeling awake. 4. Today is now, and now is ready to move your hands. 3. You are starting to hear everything around, and your eyelids are becoming open little by little. 2. Your eyes are open, and you can see now that you are here now and out of trance. 1. You're awake and you are fully recovered. Open your eyes to your new self-concentrated person. Have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next episode with great pleasure. Thank you for joining me today on 7 Years in Saudi. If this episode resonated with you and you're ready to take the next step toward emotional freedom, I have something special for you. I created a private, free Facebook group called Mom's Emotional Detox. It's a safe, supportive space where we dive deeper into the tools, strategies, and conversations we explore here on the podcast. It's time to release the emotional baggage holding you back and rediscover your true self. Join us now by searching Mom's Emotional Detox on Facebook or clicking in the link in the show notes. Let's take this journey together, because I believe if you want to help kids, we need to focus on moms. I was delighted to have this episode with you. I'll see you in the next one.